Water drives our lives. Water is an important natural resource which is essential for all living beings. We use it for many daily activities like drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, and growing crops. It is present in fruits, vegetables, leaves, animals, air, and even in our body. More than 70% of the earth is covered with water. However, we can use only 3% of it, as the rest of it is in oceans and seas. This water is salty and cannot be used by us for our daily needs. March 22 is celebrated as the World Water Day all over the world. Sources of water. Rain is the main source of water on earth. Some part of the rainwater seeps into the ground and gets absorbed by it. This water is called underground water. Some of this underground water is used by plants. Some of it is taken out through wells, tube wells, and hand pumps for human consumption. Some rainwater remains on the surface of the earth. This water is called surface water. It is found in water bodies like rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, seas, and oceans. In the past, people had to walk long distances to get water from natural sources such as rivers, streams, and lakes. Even today, in some parts of our country, people have to travel long distances to fetch water from wells and other sources. Now, in cities and many villages of India, water reaches the taps of our homes through pipelines. This water comes from rivers after it is purified and made fit for drinking. Hence, we do not need to go anywhere to get water. In cities, sometimes people face water shortage and have to call water tankers. Ancient sources of water. In earlier times, when people had to travel long distances to fetch water for daily activities, some structures were built to store rainwater or to get underground water. Let's learn about some of them. Step wells. Step wells are bowly or bowlies, have an unusual design. They are tanks with steps on all sides. They were constructed to collect and store rainwater. People used this water for drinking and other purposes. Step wells were common in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Agrasen ki Bauli. The Agrasen ki Bauli is on Hailey Road in central Delhi. It is a 60-meter long and 15-meter wide historical step well. It is believed that it was built by King Agrasen during the Mahabharat period. The step well has three visible levels. Each level is lined with arched gates, chambers, and passages on both sides. It has a long flight of 103 steps. The step well served as a reservoir as well as a summer refuge. The oldest existing step well in Delhi was built by the Rajput king Anangpal. It is in Mahroli in South Delhi and is called the Anangpal Bauli. Bundi in Rajasthan is called the city of step wells. Piaos. The word piao means to offer liquid to drink. In earlier times, piaos were wells which were dug on the roadsides or highways by kings or charitable organizations for long distance travelers. Nowadays, piaos have taken the form of earthen pots filled with water found along the roadsides during summer. People can drink water from them free of cost. They are maintained by the local residents or a nearby temple, mosque, or gurudwara. Water for irrigation. Different crops are grown in different regions depending upon the quantity of water they need. Crops like rice and jute need a lot of water. They are grown in regions that receive plenty of rainfall. Millets are grown in drier parts as they do not need much water. Wheat and sugar cane are grown in areas that receive moderate rainfall as these crops need moderate quantity of water. Tea and coffee are commonly grown along hill slopes where water is available in plenty, but it does not stagnate. To grow well, plants need a constant supply of water throughout the year. Thus, water has to be made available through irrigation. Watering of fields by artificial means is called irrigation. Wells, tube wells, canals, and tanks are some major sources of irrigation in India. Wells are deep holes dug into the ground to bring underground water to the surface. Water is drawn out of the wells using a bucket and rope. Nowadays, diesel and electric pumps are also used to draw out water from wells that are very deep. These wells are called tube wells. Canals are small channels that are dug to take water from rivers to fields. In some places where the ground is hard and wells cannot be dug, rainwater is collected in low lying areas. These are called tanks. Many devices are used by farmers to irrigate the fields from these sources. Water wheel. Water wheels use the energy of falling water. They have buckets fixed to a wheel. The wheel rotates when the flowing water strikes the buckets. As the wheel rotates, the water in the buckets falls on the other side. It is then directed into water channels which are made to irrigate the field. Windmill. A windmill uses wind energy to draw water from a well. Water pump. An electric water pump is also used for irrigation. It is used to draw out underground water. Sprinkler system. A sprinkler has pipes through which water is sprinkled evenly to irrigate the fields. This system saves a lot of water. Water always flows from a higher level to a lower level. This property is used for irrigating the crops grown on the slopes of hills. The slopes are converted into series of terraces which can retain water at all levels. As the water flows down, all the terraces receive water and get irrigated. Properties of water. Water in its pure form is a colorless, tasteless, and an odorless liquid. It exists in three states: solid, ice, liquid, rain, and gas, steam. Let's read about some more properties of water. Floating, sinking, mixing. Have you ever wondered why stones and iron nails sink in water while thermocol and dry wood float? An object sinks or floats depending on its density. Density, in simple terms, is the relation of the weight of a substance to its size. If an object is more dense than water, then it will sink. Stones and iron nails are heavy and more dense than water. That is why they sink. Thermocol and dry wood have lesser density than water, thus they float. Some substances mix or dissolve in water while some do not. Substances like salt and sugar dissolve in water readily. They are called soluble substances. Some substances like sand and oil do not mix with water at all. They are called insoluble substances. All liquids such as water, petrol, and milk are measured by volume in liters. Liter is the standard unit of measurement for liquids. Small quantities are measured in milliliters. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. Know these terms. Purify. To remove dirty or harmful substances from something. Reservoir. A large lake where water is stored to be used by a particular area, city, etc. Refuse, a place that is safe, odorless, without a smell. Let's recall rain is the main source of water on earth. Step wells were built in earlier times to collect and store rainwater. PIOs are made in earlier times for long distance travelers. Watering of fields by artificial means is called irrigation. Wells, tube wells, canals, and tanks are major sources of irrigation in India. Sprinkler system, water wheel, windmill, and water pump are some devices used for irrigating the fields. Water in its purest form is a colorless, tasteless, and an odorless liquid. An object sinks or floats in a liquid depending on its density. Liter is the standard unit of measurement for liquids.